The midlife crisis isn't actually a crisis. We're just looking for that spark to be lit up again. The universe isn't just out there, it's interacting with you. Claim your power by embracing the unknown. This is Tracy with Tracy Talks, and I'm here to ignite your curiosity. Don't just listen, embrace it. As someone who has gone through a brutal divorce, I always cringe inside when I hear that people are having difficulties in their relationships or in their marriage. I cringe because I know what a difficult marriage feels like, but I also know what a difficult divorce feels like. There is nothing fun about having relationship issues. When people have been together for years, there is this comfortability element that becomes part of the relationship. You become so comfortable with somebody that you stop doing the little things that you used to love to do. You stop making your person feel special because you just become so comfortable, and we begin to relax and not be as engaged as we once were. And the relationship changes, it evolves, and we start to act differently with these people that once ignited a spark in us. These people that ignited passion, and we were excited to hear what they had to say. We were excited to spend time with each other. And oftentimes there's just a gradual decline, and there's no one big cutoff of all of this energy and attention. But over time, the relationship changes, and oftentimes we don't even notice because it's such a gradual change. It's such a gradual evolution, and that's why it's called evolution. And unless you are directly focused on how you feel and how you want to feel and how you make your partner feel, we just don't realize how much it changes. There has been a lot of attention lately about high-profile public affairs, and people seem to be adding their own feelings to it. I was talking to somebody recently, and they had brought up that they had went through a rough patch. And there was a time where they were spending time independently and had the opportunity to see somebody on a regular basis in a public space. And over time, there was a bond, a connection that was growing, and something was changing. There were feelings that were being developed. And I casually said, "So this person lit that spark inside of you?" And they said, "Yeah, they did." And I really started to consider what my life would look like with this person instead of my spouse. I really considered walking away. I had conversations with family and friends about how I was feeling, about what I wanted to happen. I took away something very different in this conversation. I didn't go to this judgmental place of, you shouldn't do that. Because we all know that shouldn't be how we react and respond, or how we treat people who we've made a commitment to. So we all know that's not the best way to handle things. And I didn't go there because it's your decision, not mine. It's your relationship, not mine. And where I went with this conversation, which I can draw parallels in my own marriage, in my own circumstance, that At some point, the spark burns out. The spark isn't there. The spark doesn't burn as bright. We become comfortable. We take the relationship for granted. We take our own feelings for granted. We go through the motions. We wake up every day. We have the same lunch. We have the same interactions. We watch the same TV shows. We do the same things. And gradually, that spark burns out until one day, when we are least expecting it, we do something a little different. We go to a different restaurant. We go to a different bar. We have a drink. We have a cocktail. We have something after work. And we meet somebody. We cross paths with somebody. We have a conversation. And we feel a spark in us. We start to feel alive again. And we like how that feels. We find ways to spend more time with this person. We find ways to have conversations with this person because we are coming online again. We are feeling alive again. And it's interesting because when we are in relationships, a lot of times we have this expectation that it's our partner's responsibility to make us feel alive. That it's our partner's attention and all of those special little things that they do for us. Those are the reasons why we come alive. But in reality, we are the ones who are responsible for our own spark. And if you're in a relationship with someone and you have agreed to be monogamous and you don't have a spark for your partner, but you have a spark for someone else, have the conversation. Be the adult that we all should be. Ask yourself questions. Ask yourself, why do I have this spark? Why do I have this feeling? Why don't I have this feeling with my partner? Why do I have this feeling with a stranger? I know a lot of people can get wrapped up in this Hallmark holiday marathon of movies. And the scenario is always the same. Some random situation brings two people together from opposite ends, or maybe it was a reconnection that they knew each other in high school and somehow they've reconnected, and in one moment there is instant chemistry, there is instant connection, and they leave the people they're with and they hook up and get together and they live happily ever after. But for most people, that's not the reality. Because it's all fun when it's an affair. It's all fun when it's casual. It's all fun when we're all pretending. But the minute that new spark, that new person that ignited this in you, eventually that spark is going to burn out again. And that's because all of us are responsible for our own spark. And we don't have to act on it. We don't have to chase everything that lights a flame in us. We don't have to go into crisis mode. We don't have to destroy all of our relationships. If we have that spark, that feeling, that isn't a sign to walk away. That isn't the sign that this is your twin flame. But what that is a sign of is there is something changing inside of me. And what do I need to do in my daily life to ignite that spark within me? Because the moment that we start acting on everybody else sparking us, we're giving up our power. We are not in control. The minute that you meet somebody and they spark something in you, It doesn't mean you have to act. It doesn't mean you have to burn down 30 years of history because you felt a spark. What if that person was literally just crossing your path for you to remember what that felt like, for you to remember that, hey, I need to make changes in my life. I need to start doing things that make me feel alive again. Maybe I need to spend more time connecting with the partner I already have. Maybe I need to make a career change. Maybe I need to move somewhere else where I can do things that I love 12 months out of the year. It's becoming all too convenient for people to view relationships as disposable. It doesn't matter what we do to somebody else because I need to be validated. I need to be recognized. I need somebody to see me. And you weren't doing that, so I'm going to find somebody else over here that validates me, that makes me feel special, that makes me feel important. The moment that you're playing that game, you have lost. And I know that a lot of people who are players think that they're in control. But actually, if you are so easily drawn away and manipulated and motivated, you aren't in control. You don't have control over anything. The midlife crisis doesn't have to be a crisis of identity. We don't have to get to this point where we don't feel the passion in our life. We don't have to wait until some stranger walks by and we're like, ooh, what was that feeling? I haven't felt that for 25 years. Maybe I should chase them. Or you know what? You can say is, wow, I haven't felt that spark in me for 25 years. Let me explore that. Let me explore why I don't love my job. Let me explore why I don't like living here. Let me explore all of these other things that I do have control over. I do have control over how I wake up every day, how I choose to spend my time, where I choose to go. And again, we are the only ones that are in control of our emotions. Why aren't you living every day with a spark? Why aren't you waking up every day and thinking, wow, I can't wait to start the day. I can't wait to do these things that I love. So many people seem to be willing to burn things down to the ground. They won't even hesitate to throw the match and set everything on fire. And if we want to get to the root problem, if we want to get to what's really going on inside of us, that's on you. That's on each and every one of us to ignite that flame within us. We all have our own responsibility to keep that flame burning, to tend to that flame, to make sure that it has air, to make sure that it has something to burn on. And that is on each and every one of us. It is not our partner's responsibility to keep the flame inside of us going. And I'm not saying that everyone should stay in an unhealthy relationship. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is sometimes we see something and think it's going to be better than what we have. The grass is always greener on the other side. But if we just think that being with this person is going to keep that flame inside of us going, most likely they cannot, because it is our flame inside of us, and it is our responsibility to find the passion, to connect to the passion, and continue to keep it burning in ourselves. Thank you for listening to this episode of Tracy Talks. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe, and share with others who would enjoy listening to this podcast. Friends can find Tracy Talks available on iTunes, Spotify, Substack, and YouTube. Hit me up on Facebook and Instagram at More Tracy Talks. And until next time, we meet again.